Have you been the unfaithful steward to God? In our gospel reading today, we see how Jesus gives us a parable about the rich man who had a steward. And of course, the rich man calls the steward to accounts, realizing the steward hasn't been very good, that he's in a sense been receiving a lot and not giving very much. The steward realizes that the rich man's going to fire him. There's no way he's going to stay in his service. So he's calling in the rich man's debtors to reduce their debt, basically cheating the master even more. But here's the thing. He's trying to make friends with his master's debtors, thinking that if he does this, that they will accept him or be happy with him in the long run. This parable is very important for us because God should be our true master. And God is the one that we should truly be worried about and making accounts with. So often we can think that the business world or getting ahead in this life is the most important metric, or that if it's socially acceptable here on earth, God must agree with it. Or even worse, who cares about God? We'll worry about that later. Let's just get ahead the way we want to now. Jesus is making it very clear that we can't be like this unfaithful steward, because the more we try to, in a sense, change the faith, corrupt the faith, or even just cheat God on what we owe to Him, all we're doing is hurting ourselves, but mostly all those around us. And here's where the parable really flips. In the parable, it seems like the steward is doing his debtors a great favor by reducing their debt. In reality, he is not. The debt is the debt. It's a just thing. And by the steward doing what he's doing, these people have no other recompense to the master, to the rich man, because he's going to be kind of ticked off at him. But if we put ourselves in the hands of God and trust on His mercy, we will always come out better. You know, there's been so many priests in the past, and God forbid even now, who talk about faith in terms of something that's really a pushover. You know, there is no sin. There's no worry about mortal sin. There's no worry about habitual sin. You don't have to go to confession. You don't have to worry about any of this stuff. When in reality, we do. I've had so many people who want to live their lives on the edges, on the fringes of faith, and they'll keep throwing in my face what these priests have said to them. Like, just because one priest agreed with their lack of faith, that somehow justifies them. On the opposite extreme are those who had one bad run-in with a priest, and then they just reject the faith for the rest of their lives. This is not proper. This is kind of the unfaithful steward mode. And for each of us, my brothers and sisters, it is God's word that matters the most, not the word of a priest, not the word of a neighbor, not the word of someone on TV. If we're truly going to be faithful to God, we have to look to God alone and look to those clear sources that God has given to us. That is His word, which we all reverence. At the end of this parable, Jesus says, you cannot serve both God and man. And if we let the things of man infiltrate the things of God, it can truly destroy our faith and make us more faithful to our own thoughts and feelings and convictions than the things that really matter the most with God. In our first reading today, we see how the prophet is warning the people of God about all the ways they're cheating poor people, like fixing scales and all sorts of things like this, and how God sees it. How you may think you're getting ahead by being unjust. You may think you have gotten away with it, but you haven't. And for us, my brothers and sisters, are we trying to get away with something right now? Are we trying to live a half-mediocre faith? Are we being unfaithful in our stewardship to God? Because God has entrusted so much to us. And frankly, what He asks us for is not only for our good, but the good of everyone around us. It's not like He's excising a tax that is for our woe. It's all good. And if only we would truly come to the point of seeing it and believing it, how it would absolutely change our lives. It is so easy for us to want to be in control of our lives, or to think that we don't owe any service or any explanation. But in reality, it's only in living in harmony with God and one another that we truly grow in holiness and recognize the great blessings that God has for each of us. This week, let us truly reflect on the stewardship that we offer to God. Have we been trying to cheat the heavenly system, if you will? Have we been putting things off? Have we been trying to live a double life instead of just honestly, humbly, authentically walking with our God? God bless all of you. Magnificat anima mea Dominum. My soul magnifies the greatness of the Lord.